Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and welcome to Bullseye, the Power of Focus. Introduction. Hitting your target. We are living in the greatest time in all of human history. Despite short-term economic fluctuations, there have never been more opportunities for more people to achieve more of their goals than there are today. The fact is, you have more potential than you could use in 100 lifetimes. And the more of your potential you use, the more potential becomes available to you. The more you learn, the more you can learn. There's no reason for you not to be earning twice as much as you are today, or even 5 times and 10 times as much. There are people all around you who are no more talented than you and no better educated who are already earning this much. And what others have done, you can do as well if you just learn how. Clarity, focus, and concentration. You have the ability right now to achieve more than you ever have before, as long as you incorporate 3 essential mental skills into your life: clarity, focus, and concentration. You must become absolutely clear about who you are and what you want. You must focus on your most important goals and activities. And finally, you must concentrate single-mindedly until you have completed your tasks and achieved your goals. These are the 3 essential requirements practiced by all successful people throughout history to accomplish extraordinary results and great achievements. Fortunately, each of these skills is learnable with practice and repetition. Just as you can develop your physical muscles through hard work and concentration, you can develop your mental muscles through continuous repetition. Your aim in life should be to achieve all of the wonderful things that are possible for you. You want to score big, to hit the bullseye, the center of the target, in everything you do. In the pages ahead, you will learn how to unleash your powers for success and accomplish more in the next few months than many people do in a lifetime. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Power of Clarity. On November 13, 1899, a remarkable man named Howard Hill was born in Pennsylvania. He enjoyed sports and was excellent at baseball and football. He soon realized that, although he was talented in those sports, he did not have the ability to excel and become a champion player. So he turned his attention to archery, a sport that was not as competitive as others. Archery turned out to be the perfect sport for Howard Hill. Over the years, he won 196 consecutive archery championships when most people would have been happy to win 1 or 2 titles. He became the finest archer in the world. He developed his own longbow so that he could shoot further and with greater accuracy. With his skill, he became the greatest hunter with a bow and arrow in history. At archery competitions, it was naturally assumed by everyone that Howard Hill would be number 1. The other competitors only hoped for the number 2 or 3 or 4 spots. You could defeat the best. But even though Howard Hill was the finest archer in the world, you could have beaten him with a bow and arrow with your current skill level as long as one condition existed. He couldn't see the target. Imagine Howard Hill went to an archery competition, but there was a sheet or a blanket hanging somewhere in front of the target so that he could not see where it was. All the talent and experience in the world of archery would do him no good if the target was covered. As Zig Ziglar said, you cannot hit a target you can't see. It's the same with you. Unless you are perfectly clear about what you want, your target, and the bullseye on that target, you'll never be able to win championships in the great contest of life. What is your target? According to Lewis Carroll, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Thomas Carlyle once wrote, "A person with a clear purpose will make progress on even the roughest road. A person with no purpose will make no progress on even the smoothest road." The greater clarity you have about who you are, your likes and dislikes, what you want, your goals and objectives, the greater progress you will make under even the most difficult of circumstances. What is the most valuable and important work you do? When I first heard this question, I wasn't sure about the answer. Then I discovered that it was thinking. Thinking is the highest paid work you do because of the concept of consequences. This concept says that something is important to the degree to which it has serious potential consequences. Something is unimportant to the degree to which it has minor or no potential consequences. Determine the consequences. In time management, one of the best ways to set priorities is to think about the likely consequences of doing or not doing a task. Successful people are those who spend most of their time on tasks and activities that have big potential consequences. They can have a real impact or influence on the future. Unsuccessful, unhappy people instead spend most of their time doing things of little or no consequence at all. Of all the things you can do, the quality of your thinking has the greatest consequences of all. The quality of your thinking determines the quality of your choices and decisions. Your choices and decisions determine the actions you take, and the actions you take determine the quality and quantity of your results. In life and work, results are everything. In the final analysis, you will be judged by the results you accomplish for yourself and others, and the quality of your results will largely be determined by the quality of the thinking that preceded the actions you take. The law of probability. Your goal should be to achieve the highest levels of success possible in every area of your life that is important to you. Fortunately, you have tremendous control over what happens to you and what you accomplish. By doing certain things in a certain way over and over, you can dramatically increase the likelihood that you're going to enjoy high income and live an exciting life. There's a much higher probability that you will hit your personal bullseyes. Here's an example. The law of probability says that there is a probability that everything can happen, and that these probabilities can be calculated with tremendous accuracy. One of the greatest discoveries is that you can increase the probability of success in any field by doing more of the things that other successful people do. Hitting the bullseye. Imagine a game of darts and a dartboard. The bullseye on the dartboard is worth 50 points. Each of the outer rings is worth 10 points less. 40 points, 30 points, 20 points, 10 points, and then no points at all. Imagine a dart thrower. He has little skill with darts. He is in a bar and has had a couple of drinks. The light is poor. The dartboard is 30 or 40 feet away. Nonetheless, he starts throwing dart after dart. Because of the law of probability, if he keeps throwing darts, even under the worst conditions, he will eventually hit the target somewhere. Hoping for the best. If he continues throwing darts, assuming an unlimited supply, hour after hour, day after day, week after week, and year after year, he might eventually hit a bullseye. Many people live their lives like that. They wish and hope and dream about a big score. They try a dozen or 100 different things. They keep throwing darts at the dartboard of life. But eventually most people give up and simply settle for mediocrity. They conclude that they are not good enough, and that they will never have the skill and ability to hit a bullseye in the game of life. Increase the probabilities. But what if the same player takes a different strategy? What if he becomes really serious about hitting a bullseye and winning in the game of life? He hires an expert at the game of darts and takes some of the best training available to a person in this sport. Instead of being distracted, tired, and having a couple of drinks, he is instead well-rested and clear-headed. The dartboard is well lit and only a few feet away. Now, what are his chances of hitting the target? They are much better because of his preparation and positioning. What if he also has an endless supply of darts and continues to throw the darts, measuring and calibrating his accuracy with each throw, correcting his stance in his throwing, and persistently throws darts over and over again? Winning is predictable. Under these conditions, the chance is almost 100% that he will eventually hit a bullseye. And once he hits a bullseye, if he continues to practice and improve his aim, he will eventually be able to hit bullseye after bullseye in the great game of life. It's the same with you. You can dramatically increase your chances of hitting your bullseyes in life if you do the same things that champions do in your field over and over. The key is clarity. You must develop absolute clarity about who you are, what you really want, and the steps that you will have to take to achieve what you want to achieve and to get to where you want to go. You must do everything possible to increase the probability that you will be a big success in life. And this brings us to the next exercise in hitting your bullseye: goals. Chapter 2. The Power of Focus. Lloyd Conant said, "Success is goals, and all else is commentary." Hitting your bullseye in life requires that you know exactly what it is and where it is. Your selection of a major definite purpose, the one goal that is more important to you than any other, is the starting point of massive success. The goal-setting process is both simple and powerful, and potentially life-changing. It consists of 7 steps. Step 1. Decide exactly what you want. Imagine that you have no limitations. Imagine that you have all the talent and ability, all the knowledge and skill, all the contacts and relationship, and all the money and resources you need to achieve any goal you really want in life. Practice no-limit thinking. Forget about the past and whatever problems or limitations you may have had. Think instead about the future. Your future is limited only by your own imagination, and since your imagination has no limits, your future is unlimited as well. Be specific. 1. Be specific about what you want. This will separate you from more than 80% of the population who, generally speaking, have no clear idea what they want. 2. Albert Einstein once said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." 3. If you ask people, "Do you have goals?" they will always say something like, "Of course I have goals." 4. But when you ask them what their goals are, they will say things like, "I want to be rich. I want to be thin. I want to be happy. I want to have a nice house, car, and clothes. I want to travel." 5. But these are not goals. These are wishes or fantasies. A wish is a goal with no energy behind it. People don't set goals. The great tragedy is that most people think they already have goals, when all they really have are wishes. As a result, they never sit down to establish clear, specific goals for themselves. Because of this, they seldom accomplish even a fraction of what is truly possible for them. Step 2. Write it down. Make it measurable. Only 3% of adults have written goals, and these people, according to studies done at Yale and Harvard, eventually earn 10 times as much as people without goals. The very act of writing down your goals moves you into the top 3% of adults living today. Writing down your goals activates the law of attraction and begins attracting into your life the people, ideas, and resources that will help you move toward the goals and to start the goals moving toward you. Step 3. Set a deadline. Tell your subconscious computer exactly when you want to achieve your goal. Your subconscious mind loves deadlines, forcing systems that enable your mind to work 24 hours a day to bring the goal into your life. If it's a big enough goal, set smaller deadlines. If it is a 1-year goal, break it down into 1-month goals, even 1-week goals. What if you don't achieve your goal by the deadline? Simple. Set another deadline, and another, if necessary. Remember, there are no unrealistic goals, only unrealistic deadlines. Sometimes you'll achieve the goal before you expect to, sometimes after, but you must have a target and a timeline to follow. Step 4. Make a list. Write down everything you will have to do to achieve your goal. Identify the additional knowledge and skills you will require. Identify the obstacles you will have to overcome. Identify the people whose help you will require. This part of the process is very important. When you set a big goal for yourself to double your income or to achieve financial independence, for example, it can seem so overwhelming at first that you can become discouraged before you even begin. But When you write out a list of all the individual tasks and activities you can engage in to achieve the goal, your goal starts to become more believable and achievable. You start to think, I may not be able to achieve this entire goal, but I can do this one thing, and then this other thing. Henry Ford once said, nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. Keep adding ideas and activities to your list until your list is complete. Step 5. Organize the list into a plan. Just as you would plan any project, organize your list by sequence and priority. Your sequence of activities refers to what you do first, what you do second, what you do third to achieve your goal. Make a checklist to work from. Organize every activity from the first to the last, just as you would with any worthwhile project. The use of a checklist to achieve your goal will increase the likelihood of success by 10 times or more. Organize your list by priority as well. Use the 80-20 rule, which says that 20% of the items on your list will account for 80% of the value of the results you accomplish. Once you have a written list of activities, organized by sequence and priority, you have a plan that you can use to accomplish almost any goal you can set for yourself. A person with a goal and a plan is like an archer or a dart thrower with everything they need to step up to the line and hit a bullseye. Step 6. Take action on your list of activities. Do something. Do anything. As Einstein said, nothing happens until something moves. Nothing happens until you move as well. Take the first step. The key to success has always been to have courage, overcome the inertia most people have, and simply take the first step. Take action. When you take the first step on the path to your goal, 3 wonderful things happen simultaneously. First, you immediately get feedback that enables you to make course corrections, assuring that you are moving the fastest way possible towards your goal. Second, when you take the first step, you immediately get more ideas for additional actions that you can take to move ahead faster. Third, when you take the first step, your self-confidence increases immediately. You feel more positive and powerful. Your self-esteem and self-respect go up. You feel stronger and more capable of achieving even more goals. You can always see the first step. Once you have set a goal, you can always see the first step. And when you have the courage to take the first step, the second step will appear. When you take the second step, the third step will appear. You can achieve the biggest goal in your life if you just take it one step at a time, and you can always see the next step. Step 7. Do something every day that moves you toward your most important goal. When you take an action every day that moves you towards your goal, no matter how small, you eventually develop what is called the momentum principle of success. You start to move faster and faster towards your goal, and your goal starts to move faster and faster toward you. Perhaps the 2 most powerful principles for success are, first, get going, and second, keep going. Choose your major goal. Practice the 10-goal method. Take a clean sheet of paper and write the word goals at the top, along with today's date. Then, write down 10 goals you would like to achieve in the next 12 months or so. The 3P formula. For the rest of your life, when you write down your goals, always use the 3 Ps. It seems that your subconscious mind only responds to commands that are phrased in a particular way. They must be personal, positive, and in the present tense, as though you have already achieved your goal. Personal means that you use I and an action verb for each goal. For example, you say, I earn, I drive I achieve. Write it in the positive tense. Instead of saying, I will quit smoking, you say, I am a non-smoker. And write it in the present tense. Write your goal as though the time has passed and you have already achieved the goal. You are describing it as though it is a current reality. Double your income. If your goal is to double your income, you would select the amount that is double your income and write the goal as, I earn this amount of money each year. Set a deadline after each of your goal statements. For example, you would say, I earn X number of dollars by year end. Each time you write down your goal in the personal, positive, present tense, it is immediately transferred to your subconscious mind, which then goes to work 24 hours a day to help you to achieve that goal. Many people have transformed their lives in a very short time by simply sitting down and writing out a series of goals using this process. Your major definite purpose. Once you have written down 10 goals that you would like to accomplish in the next 12 months, you're ready for the next step. Imagine that you have a magic wand. Imagine that you could accomplish all of the goals you have written down sooner or later if you want them enough and are willing to work for them. But with this magic wand, you could wave it over the page and you could have any one goal on your list within 24 hours. Here's the question. If you could achieve any one goal in life within 24 hours, which one would have the greatest positive impact on your life today? Whatever your answer, this then becomes your major definite purpose. It becomes your number one most important goal around which you design your entire life. You can have a series of different goals in different areas of your life, but you must always have one goal that is more important than any other. Achieving your biggest goal. You then take a clean sheet of paper, you write your goal at the top of the page in personal, positive, present tense language, and add a deadline. For example, you could write, I earn $100,000 per year by December 31st of this year. You then make a list of everything you could think of that you could possibly do to achieve this goal. What subjects will you have to learn? What problems will you have to overcome? Whose cooperation and assistance will you require? And especially, what actions will you have to take every day to achieve this goal? You then take immediate action on your goal. You take the first step by doing at least one thing on your list. From this day forward, you do something every day that moves you one step closer to your most important goal. Here is a remarkable discovery. As you begin to work each day toward your major definite purpose, you start to make progress on many of your other goals as well. By focusing on a single goal, you begin to achieve many other goals at the same time. This process of writing down 10 goals, selecting one goal as your major definite purpose, making a plan for its accomplishment, and then doing something every single day will change your life and virtually assure that you hit your bullseye far sooner than you may have ever imagined possible. Chapter 3. The Power of Purpose. The deepest craving in human nature is for a sense of meaning and purpose in life. As Mark Twain wrote, the two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. You were put on this earth to do something wonderful with your life. What is it? Wayne Dyer wrote, each child comes into the world with secret orders. What might yours be? Each person has a special role to play, a part to fulfill, a reason for living. Spiritually speaking, there are no extra parts in the human building blocks of life. Each person is designed to fit in somewhere, doing something for someone in some way. Abraham Maslow, the groundbreaking psychologist, concluded that people have two types of needs, deficiency needs and being needs. Deficiency needs were defined as those fears, doubts, worries, and unresolved conflicts that serve as brakes on individual potential and hold people back most of their lives. His conclusion was that fully 98% of the population failed to realize their full potential because of one or more of these mental obstacles. Being needs were defined as the qualities of self-actualizing people who felt wonderful about themselves and who were dedicated to becoming more and more of everything they could possibly be. Maslow's conclusion and his great contribution to psychology was that as you free yourself from your deficiency needs, you liberate yourself to fulfill your being needs. As Walt Whitman said, keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. Your mission statement. For you to unlock your full potential to become everything you are capable of becoming, you need a higher purpose for your life. You need to commit yourself to something bigger than yourself. You need the big 5. Values, vision, purpose, mission, and goals. The big 5. You need values, those organizing principles and virtues that are most important to you and which you will not compromise for any reason. Exceptional men and women are very clear about their values and how those values are practiced in real life. Your values and the degree to which you stick to those values form the essence of your character. You need a vision, a clear, exciting picture of your future life as though it was ideal or perfect in every way. The greater clarity you have about your vision for yourself, the more motivated you will be to make that vision a reality, and the faster you will attract that vision into your life. Your purpose and mission are the natural extensions of your values and your vision. And your goals. These are the targets you aim for, combined with the step-by-step plans for the activities you need to engage in each day to make your values, vision, purpose, and mission into your reality. What is your mission in life? Most companies spend a lot of time defining their mission statements, why the company exists, and how it intends to serve its customers and its community. A corporate mission statement requires 3 parts: the mission itself, a method to achieve the mission, and a measure to determine how successful the company is in fulfilling its mission. Many companies and individuals have mission statements that are vague and unclear and give no guidance or direction about what to do or not to do on a day-to-day basis. For example, according to Steve Jobs, Apple's mission statement was,